Hello there. Let's talk brand image versus brand identity. This is going to be a fun one. I found a bunch of real world examples, which I think is the best possible way to learn about the differences. So I found three examples, one where brand image and brand identity are pretty closely aligned, another where they're not amazingly aligned, and one where they're just really poorly aligned. So let's define the terms really briefly, and then we're going to go a lot more in depth and also going to cover how you can improve both of these and get them matching. So brand image, what is this? Brand image is how the general public perceives your company, what people say about it, your customers, how they talk about it. And brand identity is what you decide your company is all about. So you can put out there, hey, we're great for the environment, we have amazing customer service, and we're the friendliest people around. Well, if the general public doesn't agree with you, if your brand image is that you're terrible for the environment, you're rude, you have terrible customer support, you're really difficult to deal with, there's completely misaligned. So this is what people actually believe about you. It's kind of a average across everyone. You know, there's a lot of brands that some people like, some people hate, but there's general themes, which is why we're gonna go into real world examples, those three examples. But stick around. There'll be a lot to take away, and I'm also gonna cover how you can improve both of these and get them really well aligned, which is gonna be huge for your business, for getting customers, all that stuff. Let's get into it right now. Let's take a look at our very first example, and that is Brooklyn. They're a bedding company. I usually like to start on Instagram just because they have to describe their brand in very few words. So they say, hi, we're Brooklyn, home of the internet's favorite sheets. Here is what comfortable looks like. So you can see they're projecting, high quality, luxury, comfortable with the internet and being modern. They have cashmere. And if you look at what they're posting, it does really fit with that vibe. It's very bright, seems very luxury, but also fun and creative. If you look at their webpage, still seems luxury, bright, fun. They have young models, and their load screen is jumping sheep, which is fairly creative, modern. And here they talk a little bit more about their company. Your comfort is our number one priority. Quality products, best materials, lifetime warranty, stress-free shopping, live chat support, fair prices, so not having the same retail markup. So definitely being high price, but not with the same level of markup. So this is the brand identity that they're projecting. They're saying, hey, here's what our company's about. Here's what we value. Here's what we're good at. But do people actually believe it? That's the question. So usually the first thing I look at is reviews, and you want to look at sites where people can leave 1-star reviews, 2-star reviews, 5-star reviews. There's one company I worked with who, they featured some great testimonials, but if you look at their reviews, it's like 1.4 stars out of 5. So it's like, okay, you grabbed some people who liked it, but your average rating is really terrible. So they actually list it on their website. I think that's a great idea. And they feature almost 50,000 reviews, 4.7 stars out of 5, which is really good on average. So you can see their average rating. They do have some 1-star, 2-star, but very few. And just what people are talking about, and it definitely fits. People are really talking about high quality, about good comfort, and being soft. And the reviews seem to really fit with what they're saying about their company. You can also look at a place like, this is Google Shopping. Same thing, 4.6 stars out of 5, 1,500 reviews almost. You can also see what people are saying about them in the news. So TechCrunch says they're known for high quality bed sheets. Also, the Daily Beast is like, hey, they make some of our very favorite sheets. If we go back to their website, they also highlight their awards, best of the test winner, good housekeeping. So they're really showing that people's perception of the product really matches with what they're projecting about it. For customer service, I usually like to look at this. And on average, like on consumer affairs, the ratings can be really low because people often jump on if they have a bad experience. So 2.8 out of 5 may seem really bad, but it's actually, I would say, fairly average based on other ones. So if they're saying, hey, we have the best customer support of all time, that may be a bit of a knock against that brand identity, but I don't really think they've made it a huge part of their brand identity. I think that their customer support's like average or decent, but they're all about doing comfort and quality and luxury. And it really seems like, from all the things I can find, people's perception of that matches with it really well. But let me know down below what you think of this one. Do you think their brand image and their brand identity match with one another? If not, tell me how they're different. But let's get to example number 2. All right, now we are moving on to McDonald's. You have probably heard of this one. They are assuming you've heard of it because you can see their Instagram is McDonald's, McDonalds.com. So let me know in the comments, what do you think their brand image is? What do you think their brand identity is? And it goes a lot deeper than just what they put on their website or on Instagram or social. You have their fonts and their colors and what they're posting. They have a slogan, they have a mascot. So it includes all of this when we're looking at brand identity. So, they have the arches, the red and the yellow. They have Ronald McDonald's, very aimed at kids and like fun, energetic. It's mostly young people smiling. If we go down, they have confetti, they have a smiling dog, they have a smiling kid, lots and lots of smiles. If we go to their website, you can see they highlight donut sticks, they highlight bacon, barbecue burger, snickerdoodle McFlurry. They've got nutrition calculator, which I'll go into a little bit, and cheap food and rewards and things like that. They talk about their values, they highlight that down below, and sustainability, good food, good planet. And they talk about the food, passionate about our food and take care we serve every day is safe, great quality, offers choice, responsible, real quality ingredients, 100% pure. This is kind of interesting because quality is very vague, but also to me it kind of has an idea of like super higher end a little bit. Like delicious and tasty and things like that is different than like quality. And of course, they're not going to describe their food as like poor quality. It's interesting word choice in the way that they present it on their website. They have their slogans. Those are just focused on, we love to see you smile, I'm loving it, just like fun and energetic and like going with the McDonald's smile. So that's like their brand identity. It's interesting with nutrition calculator. So they're definitely not known for being nutritious, and some of what you project or focus on is trying to like improve your overall brand image. So for example, like BP had that big oil spill. They got brand image of being not great for the environment. But then there are things later on, they're trying to be like, hey, no, we are not terrible for the environment. So even though there's like a mismatch, they're really trying to improve that brand image with what they're projecting and focusing on. So let's look at what people think about McDonald's. I mean, you have a good idea already since you're familiar. But reviews, not amazing. People are complaining about poor service and things like that. That's not really exclusively what they're known for, is like the greatest customer support of all time. Similar thing on like Yelp and things like that. So they don't really have their reputation. They're not strongly trying to project that. It's interesting. You can use forums. That can be a really good judge of what people are saying about a brand. So fattening, delicious, tasty, affordable, dirt, yuck, fresh, bleh, nasty, lard, fast, cheap, plastic, consistent, greasy, yummy, convenient, cholesterol, ew. So, there is a difference of opinion, but these, it can definitely be many of these things at once, like really bad cholesterol, but also convenient, but also greasy and kind of tasty, but like not amazing quality. Some people find it like gross. So there's a little bit of a difference, but I would say just from people I talk to, this fits pretty well with the things people say about the brand. So I do think they understand a lot of things that people care about and gravitate toward. It's just interesting the way they describe a number of things. I feel like if there's someone who'd never heard of McDonald's and you had them look at all of their commercials and branding and then describe it, and then you're like, hey, and also talk to these 1,000 people about the brand, they'd be like, these are pretty different from one another, especially some of the things just on how they describe their food and choice and values and things like that. But I feel like they have a pretty decent understanding, but there is a little bit of a mismatch in what they're projecting as their brand identity versus their brand image. Let's move on to number 3, because these are not aligned like at all. Okay, the last one we're going to talk about is United Airlines. Now, we're talking about this one because I feel like it's... So I don't have strong opinions on United, but this one I feel like has a pretty big disconnect between brand image and brand identity. And let's start by talking about their brand image. You know, people have different opinions, but definitely they got hit by some major controversies in the last decade. They broke someone's guitar, and he recorded United Breaks Guitars, which has nearly 20 million hits, and he did 3 more videos over the course of several years. They had someone's pet who died when it was put in an overhead bin by a flight attendant, and probably one of the most talked about stories of the doctor who was dragged off the flight. And also their response to this. So in some ways, it's a bit of bad luck, like with just happening to break the person's guitar. But that definitely hurt overall the brand image. And, you know, a number of people, if you ask them, they'll say, oh yeah, like the doctor or poor treatment of customers, like that's one of the ways they'll describe United. So, you know, that's tough when that happens. You can kind of take one of 2 approaches. One is, hey, we're going to go all in on customer service, treating people amazing with all of our messaging and everything we do, and we're going to prove to customers that we're doing it so much better. Another thing you can do is say, like, that's not our defining thing. We're all about, like, being the best business class airline or the least flight cancellations, like the most reliable or like the safest or something else, but where it's a really clear message where you're either kind of like diverting all your efforts to improving that significantly or shifting the focus to like, here's what we're very best at, and this is our brand identity with that. With their Instagram, welcome to the official United Airlines account. Okay, for service, visit, this isn't a link. The link leads to photos, which are blog posts. All right, let's go to their website. And you can look at reviews to see what people are saying about United. You know, it's not horrible. It's because airlines tend to be pretty low. Looking at a bunch of others, it's definitely medium or on the lower side, significantly lower than a airline like Southwest. So with messaging, connecting people, uniting the world, connections matter to us. Under their purposes, it's connecting people, uniting the world. We unite the world by connecting people. Wonder if they connect people and unite the world. Best airline for employees, customers, and everyone. It just seems buzzwordy, and if there is a through, like a main thing, it's like, hey, we're one of the best in terms of the way we treat customers, which just seems at odds. Like if you're going to go against what some of the perception is, like you have to really strongly explain like what you're doing or why the perception's wrong or the actions you're taking. This just, to me, comes across as like, hey, no, you think we have issues with how we treat customers, but have you considered that we do treat customers well, we're not going to expand on that. I will say they did do a couple of videos where they, helped someone go to a wedding that they couldn't go to, or reconnected someone with a stuffed animal. So it's not all bad. There is just a lot here. We fly right. We care about safety. We're friendly. That's, again, with customer support. We fly together. We respect every voice. We have an ambition to win. So it's not all bad. It's just, it doesn't feel like what they're projecting really fits with the brand image, and it seems a little disjointed. So they've done some good stuff, but there's definitely issues between how people perceive it, what they're projecting, and just making that clear and specific and not buzzwords. But you need to pay attention now, because this part is all about you. We're going to talk about your business and what your brand image is, and a number of ways to make that way, way better and really improve it.
Thank you for sticking with me all the way through. Type down, I made it. I have a gold star for you. But let's talk specifically with your business, what you can do to improve your brand identity and your brand image. I think you want to start with the brand identity, getting that really, really clear on what matters about our company. What are we amazing at? If customer service is really, really important, you need to match all of your actions to that. You can't just throw it out there like, oh yeah, we care about our customers. No, make that a defining characteristic, communicate that to people over and over, and then with every single action you do, stick with that, actually have the support for people, be really friendly, train the best people. Then the brand image is going to align with that brand identity. So you kind of have to figure out what that identity is and take every single action possible to communicate that to people, but also to get people to really buy in and believe that that's true, because every single one of your actions is propping that up. Also, some more subtle things with brand identity. If you look at trusted brands, they have a lot of reviews and they have consistent colors. The meaning of colors is really important. Like blue is very trusted. Red is kind of like exciting, or it could be fun and things like that. Each color has connotations which you really want to think about. So having those consistent across the board and professional, that'll just make a big difference with establishing a really strong brand identity. But I think so much more important is, how are you going to stand out? If you ask 100 people, what are the majority going to say that's good and bad about your brand? And so really create a strong vision for this identity, and then back it up with every single action you take, as well as your messaging, and just communicating, this is what we're about. This is why you should choose us. This is where we should excel. I did a pretty epic training on creating a powerful message. That's one of the biggest things you can do over any tactic, Facebook ad, anything like that. And I would highly recommend you check that out. I really, really think you'll enjoy it. I'm gonna link to it probably, you'll know where it is, probably right here. Thank you so much for watching. Watch that video right now. You're gonna love it.